Hello. Welcome to our home.
Yeah, we're just here chilling. I probably
We
should
really
turn
are.
it off. Let me turn it off.
We really are. I'm not chilling. I'm baking. Well, I'm candy making at the moment. Um, that's what I'm doing. I'm making candy. So we thought, well, why not go live and just be with the company and the people? It was a very busy week last week, I feel, and I'm actually dipping pretzels into white chocolate. That's my
They
job
look good.
today.
Yeah, I guess they can't see it.
That's my job today.
She's making them.
Okay.
Yay.
When y'all see what I'm
So, no,
making.
we thought we'd come on and we're like, you know what? What do you guys want to talk about? Maybe that's the better way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you always see Lee and Sherry just kind of talking
Yapping.
about the stuff that gets hit. We get hit with a lot of stuff. But at the same time, there's just more to it than that. There's so much more to it than that. And we never really get to kind of really share all of it because there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot. So, hi Tyler. I saw that you messaged. I haven't had a chance to check the email yet though, but I'll check it.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, pursue you.
I'm making candy over here.
So yeah, we're just I literally just sent you an email and you just mentioned him.
I did because we was watching a show last night. And I said, if you close your eyes, you can hear Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
The voice. Yeah, the voice was so much like yours. I thought it was you. I looked up, was like,
yeah,
Tyler?
Yeah. Well, they were in Indiana.
Then they were in Indiana.
So it's like, do you do much TV?
Never know. And I forget what we were watching. Were we watching a movie or something, right?
I believe so. Yeah, we were watching, what did we watch? We watched some.
We watched a movie. Why don't we remember the movie we watched?
Because it was forgettable, apparently.
It wasn't.
It was cute.
It was a cute movie, yeah.
And it was with Damon Wayans Jr.
That's it.
And what was it? Where the woman kept trying to, they like set up dates.
It was they set up dates. It was like a game that they played with singles and how they got to talk to people and things like that. And I'm very curious if you, back in your play dates, your play date era, did you ever like run plays like in that movie?
No. Well, except for that one time. That one time, we where you want to be somebody else, so you come up with a different name.
Oh, that's right. The time that you and your buddy was like that singer from that band.
Yeah. But things like that. You're talking 1920.
1920.
I was 19 or 20 years old.
Oh, I thought you was like 1920.
No, I was like
I'm like
18,
you weren't here
18,
in
no, I was more 18,
1920.
19 than anything. I think I just turned 19.
Right.
So anyway, that was fun.
You were young.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's good to be young.
I get it. We've had a pretty eventful week. We've had
couple of years.
We have people here. We have people here every day, coming in and out all day.
Hey, Craig.
Excuse me. We are finishing a room in the basement, studio room. My studio room, and now studio room. We're putting a studio room. I don't know what it's going to be. It's a room. We're going to use it. We'll get to see it. That's all I got about that. It's the room.
What I miss?
Just tell them about the room. There's people downstairs making a room. We don't know what it is. It's just going to be a studio for the both of us.
Yeah.
Just a room.
Lee's like weeks, years, eventful years. Yeah. It's been eventful.
The whole journey's been eventful. This connection journey, whatever y'all want to call it.
Life.
Oh shit!
It's much more simple just calling it life.
I made a mess.
How about
I made a mess. I did. I've got parchment paper out here, and I just dropped the whole thing on the countertop. Let me tell you what happened a minute ago. So Lee and I had to take off because I'm making this little project for this person, and these supposed to look like cigarettes when I'm done with them, right? But I didn't like this color at all because I put too much of my special ingredient in it. And so I went and got white. So now that I'm putting the white on, it's kind of rolling around in this tan color, and it's doing something that I'm happy about. But I just dropped it on the thing. That's it. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. There it is. So yeah, we're going to be doing some new things in our little studio space. Actually, it's a big studio space. I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited for it.
I am. And I'm also excited about our other little room that we are working on. And you know what? We stay busy around here. We really do. We have football was on, but we're not huge.
We're
football.
not big Sunday people.
Like, we're just not. I don't mind if the game's on and I'll watch it. You know what I mean? But
if you want to make them more white and it's leaning yellow, tan, drop a purple food color again.
yeah. Yeah.
True.
Yes. I do that with my hair when it starts to get brassy. It's very smart, Tyler. Was that Tyler that said that?
Yeah, that was Tyler that said that. Yeah, there's not many. I thought we thought
Tyler
we'd come
would
on
know
because
about,
they said
Tyler would know about toning with purple. I love him. I love him. Yeah. Are you mesmerized by this?
Yeah, I'm watching. It looks like so much fun, but it looks,
It's
relaxing.
tedious.
It's relaxing when you do one thing at a time. It can be very relaxing, and it can be very, because think about what Sherry's been recently going through significant shift and change, being able to do multiple things at once down to maybe not so many multiple things at once. So, kind of what you're going through is
horrible.
Well, it's what you're going through though. And you're like, why is it that way? And it's
Right.
that way because once you start making life more simple,
yeah,
it starts to get simple.
It really does. And I was getting ready to tell them what I just did. So I was saying that I didn't like this color, so I ran back out to get some. I didn't even think about the purple at the time, but I needed to go anyway because I needed to get another color. So we got in the car to run to Michael's, which is what, 10 minutes from here, if that. And like my heart just kind of stopped, and I was like, "Oh no, I left the brownies in the oven. The oven's still on." And because when the alarm went off to get the brownies out, they weren't quite done, so I didn't set another alarm, and we left. Then I tried to call my 16-year-old son, who's in the downstairs room sleep, and got no answer. So we rushed home. And I got them out of the oven, and they weren't burnt.
No, not at all.
They clearly needed that time, right?
Yeah,
they clearly did. We have someone drywalling the mess out of that down there.
Yeah,
I can hear him just.
What is this? A question?
I can hear him. We can't see, so we're looking. We have a question. We have an offline question. Is that right?
Oh, no, it's just a question.
Oh, okay. It's a question. Let's do it. Let's answer that question. What you got?
It says, what does it mean if your twin flame visits your social media profile after months of separation but still doesn't respond to your message?
I mean, I think it means they're just trying to see what's going on in your life, right? When you think that, I mean, what's going on in your life? Are you with somebody? Type of thing.
Mean if your twin flame visits your social media profile after months of
That's what I
separation,
would
still doesn't respond to.
Or feel.
Well, it's two things. One, they can feel a whole bunch of energy about you.
Parchment.
But the way you show up in that energy is always very rejecting for them.
What do you mean?
Well, kind of like when, sometimes you say to yourself, yeah, but if I reach out, they're probably not going to respond. Right. Or, they're probably going to say, I don't want to hear from you. Or, you come up with whatever scenario in your mind and you go to send a message.
Right.
Like you didn't manifest them doing whatever it is that they're about to do.
Right.
You do manifest in that way. right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that happens in this particular case, it seems that what Kathy is asking is, what does it mean if your twin flame visits your social? So basically they go to your profile, but the reason they're not going to respond to your message because your message probably didn't require a response.
Explain that.
Oh, I was just reaching out to see how you're doing. That's it. That's the message. Not specific about what they're reaching out about. They're just reaching out because they just want to see how they're doing. Not reaching out because I'm thinking about you. I'm feeling you. I'm wanting to know how you're doing. I'm wanting to hear from you. Nothing like that. You don't never send a message like that. So the way you get the response is going to be exactly the way you submitted it. There was nothing specific in asking. So it really depends on what the message says down in the message box.
Right.
But you also have to think about this connection. A lot of people like to hold things back. let me just sit inside and tell myself how important I think you are, or how important I feel you are, but yet I won't tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lack of development to communicate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes it happens that way. It's a good question, though.
It was a great question.
We know how many times that happens to me with my ADHD, leaving burners on or the oven for hours.
Well, it's okay, except for I just blew up our last house. So
she has a point.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying.
Have you blown up anything? If you haven't blown up anything, hey Omar,
I'm trying not to blow this one up. You feel me? Right. I'm trying, but clearly I was on the warpath today, out the door to get some white chocolate. Man, Tyler. I'm trying to make changes over here and get right with the Lord. Right? Trying to get right. I don't think I'll ever get right. I don't want to be right. Who wants to be right? I don't want to be right. I want to be different. I want to stand out. I don't know why. I just do. I like to stand out.
One of the toughest things to do in the world is to tell somebody you love them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really mean it.
I just got white chocolate. No. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting it's a mirror image. Yeah. All right. Another question?
Yeah. Do you want to know?
You guys got questions, Tyler?
Yeah. If you guys got questions, I'd rather do real time questions, but these are real time too, I guess. They're just coming from a chat board. So
yeah,
it's strange how that happens. What preparations do twin flames make for their reunion with the other half, whether they are aware of it or not?
Can't prepare. You can't prepare. You can't prepare. It's like preparing for, a tornado's coming, and not only have they told you a tornado's coming, you see it out the window. You have confirmation that it is heading your way. It is coming to you. It's over in the neighbor's yard, right? There's no preparation for that. And that's what this journey is. There's no preparation. There's just not, it hits you like a ton of bricks and it keeps smacking you around a little bit. And it's not bad. It sounds bad.
It's not a matter of being ready. It's a matter of being open.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's what the preparation speaks to. The preparation speaks to how open do you think you are to people, and how open do you think you've been to people you love? Right. How open do you think you've been to your family? Because this connection will test that. It'll test that theory. It'll test it and keep testing it. And then it'll show a whole bunch of shit right behind it. Tyler said, that's a good plug. I've been learning a lot about being honest in communication and not leaving the feeling left unsaid when reaching out to people. A lot can be hid under how are you? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it is. It's a good point. The one thing that we noticed though, Tyler, is what do you tell yourself the difference is between honest communication and truthful communication? Because that's kind of where in this connection, truthful communication works better than honest communication. It's the only way for it to work, actually. For sure. And I think that's the hard part because it's not clear. A lot of people believe honesty is a good thing. I don't trust honesty because the truth is more important. Right. But, that to each his own. Leo,
can you maybe
what
tell
is the
them?
Difference?
Go ahead.
Leo said, what is the difference?
I was just getting ready to ask that, Leo. Won't you explain the difference in truth and honesty? Thank you, Leo. I was getting ready to ask him that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's give it a clear example. Because when people say, hey, can I be honest with you? You can tell that they're going to keep some things out.
What? Why? How?
Because that's how honesty works. Honesty implies the truth. It's not the truth. You can be honest, have some care about somebody and you don't want to hurt them. So you'll hold things back, which is the same thing as lying to them. That's what makes honesty such a unbalanced experience. Truth is I truly, or you have it without judgment. So if somebody's explaining something to you, you'd want like fact-based communication, but it's not necessarily fact-based. It's just the truth-based. Okay. So if I said, I don't know how to receive love, right? That's a truth. Okay. Or, yeah, I'm okay with it, is honest. So if you hear that, you don't understand how it's going to feel until you feel it.
Got it.
So truth is about what you feel. Honesty is about what you think and feel. See, and feel is always going to be last.
Okay.
Because you put your thoughts ahead of your feelings. Nobody's ever had a successful connection if they've had their thoughts ahead of their feelings. True. And we're that's what this connection is about, right? The connection is about, do you ever put your feelings first? Do you ever let anybody know your feelings? And do you ever let anybody connect to you? So this connection comes along and it's got all of this mystical, magical tone to it. But the truth is it has this feeling to it. And everybody wants to have a feeling with somebody because when you get older, you don't have that feeling with somebody anymore. Right. See, that's truth.
Right.
Honesty is people fuck shit up. right? I'm going to add my emotions to the thought to create honesty. The truth just needs your feelings. You either feel good or you don't feel good. So hopefully, did that make sense, Leo? And then we also have Kinza. Yes, I feel like lately when I read his text, I can see that he's downplaying his emotions and that he's holding back. Thank you for this. So Kinza, the perfect thing to do is to, first of all, it depends on if you've had this kind of healing happen to you yet. If, let's say, for example, I'm going to use Sherry here because Sherry was beautiful at doing this. She knew when I was holding things back, but she kept kind of putting this pad in front of me. When she would talk to me, it was almost like I'm allowed to just go ahead and put it out there because it can't be, I don't know if she was thinking to herself, it can't be any worse than what my life has been or what I've been through. I don't know what that is. I just know that. I just know that when she would say, look, just tell me what's going on. It's almost like you have to invite them to tell you the truth. Here, the thing about when you invite somebody to tell you the truth, you can't be in your head when they tell you the truth. And that's the hard part. Yeah. The hard part is to be in what you feel and feel what they're telling you so you can connect to what they're feeling. The thing is we get in our heads when somebody holds things back. They're holding it back because either, number one, it's self-rejection. It's not about you. You're getting rejected on the second half of that. If they can't express what they're feeling, what they're thinking, they're rejecting themselves. So what ends up happening is we do a lot of that. Like if you, in relationships and even in our own connection, we have kept experiencing where we would hold back from one another. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like a separation happening on the inside of the body. It didn't feel good. Mm-hmm. But when we came and told each other the truth, it was like an ability to fall in love more. So I guess it's kind of how you have to, when you pay attention to how you're expressing or sharing what you actually feel, that's not easy for a lot of people because number one, you're taught to think, but not taught to feel is kind of why this connection is so treacherous. This connection is trying to teach you how to feel, to live your life through your feelings, not your thoughts.
It's like a whole new life system.
It's connection. Yep. It's what was on this planet before humans were doing what humans do now.
Because we are clearly all taught to disconnect.
Well,
I know
a lot of family dynamics have imploded and caused that. It's not like one set thing, right? It's never going to be one set thing. But what we figured out on the inside is the stuff that you keep to yourself inside. Ooh, I like that. Do that again. You come back this way? I'm sorry, give me that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I love it.
See you guys later.
It was the process. Anyway, go back to our regularly scheduled program. What we ended up finding, though, I think was probably the most important part of it all, was that when you want to express what you feel, you need to take some time with your own feelings so you don't come up and say they're going to reject that. 9 times out of 10, anytime we were holding back from each other, we were telling ourselves that we were going to get rejected by the other person. For sure. That's hard to stop because you don't realize you're in a mind-dominant pattern based on a belief system. And once you actually break that down and really pay attention to what you actually feel, you want to go to them and open up. It's not that you're hurting or in pain. You're not hurting and in pain in a way that's not, I guess the word I'm looking for here is you want to be able to express what you feel, what you think in the truth. You don't want to do it in an honest way. Honesty is the way of unconditional love. Truth is the way to true love. So if you look at that as the path, that's kind of what we found. The most important part of this connection has been that. The more truth, and the truth is you look at things, you can't tell yourself what the actual truth is. You have to feel the truth. The truth is something you feel, not something you think. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I totally agree with that.
But that's exactly what we found, right?
The truth is nowhere near your brain.
No, it's not. In this connection, it's trying to pull you out of mind-dominant environment, which is almost impossible because we're all surrounded by everybody.
It's the human condition, right?
Yeah, the human condition that's the thing that gets healed through this connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you can't explain that to people. They'll feel it. They'll feel it from you, or they won't. I mean, even people who could be family or considered family may not get the connection, but the purpose of the connection was to rebuild family, not destroy it. Whatever you were before could have destroyed your family. Whatever your family, your lineage.
Whatever I was before did destroy my family.
Right. But if you look at it, it's kind of like, you're an iteration of every part of your mother and father. Yeah. No matter how even if they weren't in your life, you still become an iteration of them in some way.
True.
And it's like, if you could pay attention to that, you could pay a lot more attention to connection. I probably should catch up with what's being said here.
Agree.
I meant I can feel more than see. That's beautiful. Kenza, make sure that, okay, well, let me get down to this other part because I see you came down. Tyler said, honesty can still include omissions. Truth has no omissions. Perfect. Tyler, that should be a shirt. That should be a shirt somewhere. You should just go ahead and put that in now.
Put it on a shirt,
yeah.
Tyler.
Leo, it almost sounds like truthfulness has vulnerability behind it, and it is heart-centered where honesty is just facts. No, he preached it right there. Leo, that is exactly what we found. We found the truth is the divine. The divine doesn't like anything attached to it. It doesn't like the roles that we play in it. And of course, we decided divinely connected, but connected itself doesn't need anything, neither does the divine. They're both kind of one.
Right.
They're the true twin flame of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see that because it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's blurry because of your life. It's blurry because of your relationships. It's blurry because of your family dynamic. It's blurry. There's one thing that wants to bring you to the truth. So that way you have true love. I mean, what else would you want past that? So let's see. Kenza said, yes, exactly. I know no mistakes are possible on our journey, but I just told my truth to him finally after all the spiritual experiences, and I turned my notifications off expecting the worst. So the expectations, again, found their way in from a belief system. Mm-hmm. And expectations are, man, let me tell you a thing about expectations. Expectations, the worst enemy for expectations is the present moment, because that's all you have is the present moment. And if expectations are something you carry around, you have no present moment. You actually can't even possibly connect to anyone. So let expectations not be the thing that keeps you from connection. Connection doesn't know what expectations are. It just knows connection. So however you're connected to this person, look at everybody you've been connected to from your family. Look at everybody you've been, the kind of friends that kind of came from those subroots, right? They're all an extension of everything that surrounded you. And did you feel connected to in any of it? Clearly, our answer was no. No, we weren't. But then we ran into each other. And
Nine.
You need to stay away from me. You need to stay away from me. I mean, it was like it became that space where it was like,
do I have to get a restraining order?
I believe the hardest part was believing that we felt each other like we did. It was so
hard to believe, even though I knew I was freaking feeling it. And it pissed me off. But I knew I felt it. Like, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't insane. I knew I was in my right mind.
The thing about it is, if you don't pay attention to your body a lot, which, you look at your back history, you didn't pay attention to your body because of a lot of things that have happening to you over your life, right? You wanted to be out of your body. That's the last place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of a lot of things that you went through. But then you look at overall, when you finally get back into it, you start to heal things that you didn't know were possible to heal. You know what I mean?
Or heal things that you didn't know was there to be healed.
True. And there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
The truth will help you find a lot of what you're not letting yourself have.
I was like, I thought I dealt with that years ago.
Yeah. No, it's a never-ending trail. It's a never-ending trail because you...
Too busy staying in victim. Too busy staying in victim. That's what I did.
Whoever you have been in your own story, did you like that person? You know what I mean? Do you love who you were in your life? And if you're looking at this, if you're watching this either at the replay or even right now, 17 of you, if you ask yourself, do I love who I am in my life right now? That's going to tell you the distance between you and the person you directly connected to. It's like a homing beacon, right?
Right.
And until you start because you can start right now loving that person that went through that. You could start right now. There is no expect to have something happen if you do that. You should just do that because it's supposed to be something you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The doing things to get things isn't this connection at all.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's how we start out, though. That's how a lot of people start out. Doing things to get things, doing things to get that person. Last night, that movie.
Yeah, they did.
That was the movie. They did all those things.
And then the person didn't even know her. Which is true.
Right.
That person doesn't even know you because you be all these things you think they want you to be. You're not even being who you want them to be with.
Right.
And then you get mad at them because now when you start trying to show up being yourself, like they don't feel like you pulled the wool over their eyes.
Movie. That's why we watched that movie. So we could explain that. I get that now. But what's the name of that movie? So you all could go watch it and understand what the hell we're talking about.
I think I saved it.
It was a good movie. It was cute. It kept our attention, which is rare for me. Maybe because I was connecting the dots when Lee was connecting the dots in the movie, and we were like, wait a minute.
It was on Netflix. Right?
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. No, this isn't going to end how we think it's going to end. And it didn't. I run into everywhere but my home. Faith is all I had and needed for the first year. Then he finally validated to me that he doesn't run into anyone else more than me. And he finally felt safe to express. That's what happened in that movie last night. I'm telling you exactly what we're talking about happened in that movie last night. So the basis of it was friend group, right? Single friend group. They're all single. And they are making plays like football plays, right? And they're naming the plays and how they go up to other singles and get dates and things. So anyway, the one girl really liked this one guy, so they ran a couple plays and they got in a relationship. He knew nothing about the play. Did he ever find out about the plays? He never found out about the plays because
Players.
Players.
What's the name of
Players.
It was Players, and it had let's see, it says Gina Rodriguez, Damon Wayans Jr., and Tom Ellis.
It was cute. It was funny.
It was cute. It was a rom-com. We
Yeah.
wanted to watch something like that, and I think we watched that, and we watched Beauty in Black.
Yeah, I wanted to watch something that, for a change, that there was no explosions or machines or robots coming out of the ground looking like snakes, or nobody's shooting anybody up, or the cars aren't going so fast they're squeaking around the corners, or any type of franchise, or I mean, I could keep going.
Yeah, I'm putting her through it because me and Cameron started making her watch Superman and Lois with us because they have really done a very unique job.
I don't mind a Superman story. It's just that they're all the same.
No, this story is different.
You say it, but I see all those similarities every time I watch it.
I'm sorry, this story is different. It's really this series Superman and Lois seems to be about connection more than it is about anything.
The premise of any superhero movie is, look, I'm invincible. Oh no, they killed him. Oh look, he's alive. Oh no, he's dead again. Oh, but look, his heart's beating. There it is. Now you don't ever have to watch another superhero movie.
True.
I just gave it to him.
Yeah. So sorry, Sherry likes to spill truth.
I ruined it for you. And that wasn't even truth. That was honesty.
Well, no, you're right. Right. Let's see here.
Y'all, I'm cutting the
Yes,
hell out
exactly.
of
I have no mistakes are possible in the journey, but I told my truth to him finally. After all the spiritual, okay, yeah, we said that. He texted, "Are you home?" 4 minutes later, and I missed it. So I think I triggered his abandonment. Now he's pulling back. I was ready to tell my truth, but I guess not ready to receive. Oh. So here's the thing about until you can receive, you can't tell the truth. That's right? Until you receive, you can't tell the truth.
Right. I agree with that.
Okay, it's like it has it's almost like a spark, right? Yeah. When you realize that
you have to agree to the charges.
True. But more than anything,
you have to accept the charges that are against you before you can.
Well, you'll have to receive
the charges.
Receiving is a very difficult thing when you are hurting or have pain. When you're upset about something or something triggers you, your receiver gets turned off. It's not on. You have no capability of getting through. And then your need to be right starts to strengthen. The need to be right doesn't like the truth.
Why is there a need to be right?
Because the truth is not something they want to heal from at this point.
Right. So
if you want to heal, you have to heal with the truth. You'll never heal with anything outside of that. You can't heal with a lie. You can't heal through time. You can't. A lot of people. Perfect example. What we've done over all this time.
Right.
And we look at sitting and just really talking about what somebody's gone through from a standpoint all the way through, only realizing that they're telling us a story about what everybody else was doing. Right. To them,
right?
Not what they were doing to everyone else, which immediately is the red flag that the receiver's turned off. Does that make sense?
True, yeah.
The receiver got turned off at a certain age, and you learned it from somebody you love.
Right.
Now you don't know how to break that cycle from that. So it's like you discover these things, I think, even more when you let yourself tell the truth. But don't be scared of the truth. The truth, Kenza, the truth is the one thing you have to look at. If there's abandonment, it's because the truth isn't available. You can't abandon.
Say that again.
What?
Because abandonment isn't available.
With the truth, abandonment isn't available.
Okay.
Because the truth stands on its own. It's the firmest ground you can stand on.
All right.
Right. And when I mean truth, I mean what you really feel in its depth. right?
Right.
So your feelings will be ever present. But then what ends up happening is if you leave that truth for any reason, for honesty or for a lie or for whatever,
right.
Put on a mask, hide yourself, don't want to share what you're really feeling, don't want to share what you're really thinking. When you do those things, you're not necessarily breaking the foundation of it. You're leaving the foundation of it.
I see.
Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the abandonment. Why abandon the truth? The truth is never going to abandon you. So, it's almost like we pick on the truth more than we should.
Right.
The truth is the one and only true bully.
Man.
But at the same time, the truth is the one and only true love.
Right.
So I guess it really depends on if you can love your truth or not. Because if you don't love your truth, you're not going to let anybody else.
Well, that is the truth. I agree with that.
Yeah, and
because I hate my truth.
And that's painful because especially if you keep secrets or if you keep things to yourself, it's almost like you're looking for that space. You know what I mean? You're looking for why can't I just come out? And you're not coming out because you haven't loved your truth yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you love your truth, it's different. You have a whole, that is the think about it, that's the flow of what the connection pushed us into. The truth was, could you trust everybody around you? No, we couldn't. And then the truth was, when we came into this connection, could you really, truly trust me? There was a point where you looked at me and you knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you knew.
I knew.
Right. And I've looked at you and I knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that. And then if you don't talk about it, or if you don't realize that happened, you keep chasing your tail.
For real. Yeah.
So how do you get back and connect to the truth? Let me catch up here. Let's see. I read a quote the other day that rocked me, and it was, hate is not the opposite of love. Fear is. Nice. Yes. Oh my God. I run into them everywhere, but my home, everyone thinks I'm delusional, but I know what I've seen and felt within myself and with him. Delusion. The reason why people use the word delusion, Kenza, I want you to think about this. When they tell you you're delusional, they're telling you that you're in your feelings. See, that's kind of what we've done. We've taken delusion. When somebody's coming from feeling, we call it delusion. That's a mind way for us to help us cope with whatever they're going through. That's not what you're feeling. It's not delusion. You feel strong feelings. Those feelings have not been identified, and they don't need to be. They just need to guide you to where you're supposed to be. So trust that. You're not delusional. Nobody is delusional. Delusion does something to feeling that we've paid a price for too long. We have. This is just my 2 cents. Faith is all I had and needed for the first year. Then he finally validated to me that he doesn't run into anyone else more than me, and I finally felt safe to express. So faith is all I had and needed. Kenza, one thing you should focus on is pay attention to what you need and pay attention to how you let yourself have it. Pay attention to how you get your needs met. Pay attention to how you let people you love show up for those needs. Pay attention to that very closely and see if that doesn't strengthen or at least make that connection get stronger. And it's not that you have to change anything outside of you. You just have to change that inside of you. I've been feeling this today after watching the show I sent y'all. We change ourselves and disconnect because we think they won't love our pain, but our pain is what they love about us. That's some deep shit right there. That's some deep. They love our truth, and what we try to hide is part of that. So if we aren't being truthful, they can feel that. So Tyler, that's exactly what it is. When you are feeling like you can love somebody, you'll say, I love them. And then when somebody asks you if you love yourself, you're like, no. So then how are you loving them if you're not loving you? So it's like you're giving them what you're giving you. You just don't see it, or they'll turn around and give you what you're giving you, because that's how that works. I mean, if you look at it, that's just the law of connection. You that becomes a connection in a disconnected way. That's the best way to describe it. if you unlock one side of that connection, that disconnect falls away. And that's what we keep seeing. The thing is it's not multiplying fast enough because the information is not there. The information to find is not there. Everything that we've seen points to coping, doesn't point to connecting. It points to healing. Well, healing is connection. Healing and connection happen together, but they don't happen without your pain and your truth. So if you know that's the ingredients, that's what's needed for this connection. And if you don't have those 4 principles, then you're pretty much, you're chasing your tail for a long time. Mm-hmm. And we didn't know it either. I mean, it took us 15 years to figure it out, but it wasn't without going each step of the way and then seeing what it does when you are focused in that way. Because she's sitting here making these. And this is 3 years. 3 years now.
I did cook Thanksgiving dinner though after my transplant. I had my transplant October 30th of 2021, and I got out of the hospital in 5 days, and I cooked Thanksgiving dinner.
After they cut you in half.
I cooked Thanksgiving dinner for my family that year because I was unalived, and then I became alive.
I helped, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you helped tremendously.
Okay.
You did help tremendously.
I just couldn't remember if I helped or not.
Oh yeah. Well, I had to have help. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I let you do much by yourself.
No. It was nice.
Anyway, that's a connection in a nutshell.
Connection in a nutshell. The nutshell of connection.
Thank you so much, Lee. I will save this live and listen when I need to. I've watched a ton of TF content, but parts of your story always come to my mind at times. So thankful for you too. Thank you so much, Kenza. We really appreciate that. We originally did this. I don't think we originally thought that this was going to turn into something we would do. I think we found the aspect of what we can do because we believe that spirituality and spiritual truth should be available no matter what. But when it comes to that isolated, I need somebody to kind of sit with me and look at what this is and pay attention to it and show me how I'm connected or not connected to it. That's hard to see. And I think that's necessary. It is necessary. Those look fantastic.
Not done with those.
I know, but they're looking pretty good. You are so creative. Oh, that's cute. I see what you did there.
Well, I did a little too soon, but it's fine.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Anyway. So anybody got anything else? I think I had another question come through.
We're here for it.
Yeah.
We are here for it.
Yeah. Is it possible for souls to remember their twin flame connection before meeting in the physical realm? Okay. Let's approach this one from a completely different angle.
There's a question.
All right. Let's think about this in a simple way. Let's say the soul is an ocean.
The soul is an ocean.
Right. Yes. It's an ocean, right? And you have multiple oceans, right, all connecting to each other to sustain and create life from it.
Got it.
Okay. If that's the soul, when it connected to another one of those oceans, it would remember that forever. That's never going to separate, right? That energy that's going to be coming off of that, the water that's going to be coming off that, the air that's surrounding it, all knows that those come together, right?
Correct.
That's no different than this.
I agree.
That's no different than this. So you want to look at just how it connects. You don't want to pay attention to why it connects.
Right.
Because a lot of this connection is about why.
Why?
it's and what sucks is it should be about how. Because the why is already there. The why is because you've gone so far without connection. Now you need it, and you keep calling for it, and you keep telling yourself, you keep dreaming about it, but you don't pay attention to the fact that you're dreaming about something that you can have.
Right.
I guess that would be the way to answer that. Anything else? I guess that answered that question. Or unless you got a way to answer it.
No, I think you hit the nail
Is
on
it
the head.
possible for souls to remember their twin flame connection before meeting in the realm? Well, we're all bodies of water. So I guess that's how it relates to it. I mean, it connects to everything that's as simple as that, our creation.
I mean, you looked familiar to me. You know what I mean?
There's a familiar, the feeling.
Yeah.
It's the feeling, right?
Yeah.
When you come into the same energy,
it was a very homey feeling. Like, oh, this feels like home.
No. Adele, hi. Said
Adele.
11:11 at my end. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yep, just turned 3:12 here. Let's see. Kenza said, just seems like maybe not the right time with all he's dealing with the last couple of months. But then I think if I don't stand up, I'll miss the opportunity and regret it.
Now, and that could be right too.
Well, Kenza, you have to ask yourself, are you wanting to be with somebody that you're going to go through something with? Because it doesn't matter what they're going through right now. If you're connected to them, they're going through it without you or with you. It's like when people say, I need to go away to heal. No, you go towards them to heal. Going away from them disconnects you from anything that can heal. Healing is something that you need connection.
Nobody likes to hear that.
Healing is the truth. Healing is something you have to have connection for. Healing doesn't occur without connection. Connection doesn't happen without healing. It's like they both are yin and yang, right? It's hard to see that.
Right.
Or is it?
No, it is.
The feel of it, I think, is where you want to look at. The feeling can kind of really, you can change things by paying attention. If you feel you want to be with him through whatever he's going through, Kenza, you should do that. Mm-hmm. But if you're not telling him you want to be there for that, he's going to keep staying around the outside, thinking that he just doesn't want to include you in his shit. When if you're with somebody you're connected to when you're going through shit, you change what you're going through. You're not alone.
Right.
Right? You're not without. You're with connection, you make different choices. If you're without connection, you make choices being without connection. So it could just deter things rather than bring things together. So Kenza, I would suggest, if it was me, I would say, well, number one, you could either talk to us, we could talk to you and kind of find out exactly what's happened that's kept it that way. Or you could just ask yourself one simple question. Do I want this connection with him? And if you hear yes inside and you hear a no inside, pay very close attention to which one you felt and which one you didn't, because you'll get both. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
You'll have something inside that it's almost like you have to learn how to talk to yourself inside. Like we've never done that. But your essence and your energy that's making everything animate is based off of what's inside, not what's outside. It just kind of flows together outside and you trust it.
I agree with that.
So Adele said, so good to see you too after so long. Thank you, Adele. We're so happy to be back.
I'm making candy. I'm here paying attention.
Yeah. We thought we'd just come to a Sunday
But
hangout.
we're just chilling in the kitchen and I'm doing this. So we thought, well, why not go live? You know what I mean?
We miss you guys.
We do.
Let's see. Say it again for those like me. Running away doesn't heal. Only running towards. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Tyler, but it's the truth.
It sucks.
Here's the thing. We learned this in Tyler. What you need to heal is on the inside. So 5-6-year-old Tyler, if you were to sit in front of 5 or 6-year-old Tyler and he'd look at you and says, what do you love about me? What would you be able to tell him? Because if you're making 5 or 6-year-old Tyler, when he would hurt, I'm sure he didn't close down. I'm sure he went to somebody and somebody would hold him and pay attention to what was going on with him. And then he would heal. If you're not letting yourself have that, you're nowhere near this connection. And that's kind of what happens. You can't break connection at the vulnerability core. Because if you break connection at the vulnerability core, that's why a lot of people believe that inner child work is important. It's not important to do the work. It's important to do the connect.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you had the chance to live as 5-year-old, 6-year-old you again, what would you be saying that was simple for somebody to understand about your hurt or your pain? Because we forget to do that. We forget that we're allowed to have hurt and pain and be simple. it took me a while to figure that out. And then I remember when I came into connection with Sandra, Alan, Trevor, and Eileen, and then never the time all three of these grown men on this radio show are boohoo crying. We cried I think we cried together several times on that radio show, because it was just, we didn't know that we could have that kind of bonding in our own environment. But you grow that. You grow from learning that vulnerability is healing. Vulnerability, you don't protect vulnerability. You pretty much put it in prison. Don't put your vulnerability in prison by protecting it, by being safe, by creating boundaries. That's a no-no. You do that, you've created something that's called conditioned love. Right. Conditioned love is not any fun, especially if you keep telling yourself it's unconditional. That's just going to piss you off. It's just gonna make you a little angry. So, don't, not to put anything there's nothing wrong with unconditional love. I believe that a lot of people can live very long with that, but it's not the same as true love. True love is the truth.
I mean, I feel like
there's love and truth together. This is a very powerful experience.
I don't know.
You what?
I feel like unconditional love would be more like, I love you unconditionally enough that if you go and you're intimate with somebody else, that it's okay. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of, I don't have that in me, right?
Right.
So I often wondered for a long time, do I not love him unconditionally? If I don't want him to, you know what I mean? If I want him all to myself. And, is that being selfish? And am I denying the world of your massive love? Right. I don't know. I definitely would say I love you unconditionally, but no, there's conditions.
Right. The conditions aren't about them. The conditions are about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Unconditional love, when we say it, well, I love them unconditionally.
Yeah.
Think of a mother to a child.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true love.
For sure.
It turns into unconditional when the child stops sharing with the adult.
Right.
Now there's like a space there where you don't have the truth, so you can't give them true love. You just love them, and there's unconditional. So they could go rob a bank, they could go shoot somebody. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The unconditional experience is what it is. But true love means you tell me the truth, and I'll be able to love you in it.
Right.
If you don't tell me the truth, I can love you, but I can't love you the same.
Right.
So it's almost like you don't realize that until it actually is there in front of you.
True.
So let's see what is.
Sure was an interesting question.
Yeah, it really was. Long distance, not long term, all within the last 2 months, Kenza said.
Okay.
Let's see. He's just ended his karmic relationship, and within weeks is now in a long distance connection with someone else. So I feel like I shouldn't choose him if he isn't choosing me. Here's the thing. Does he know you're a choice?
Right.
How do you make yourself a choice, Kenza? I mean, if you feel that strongly for this person, have you ever loved somebody and felt like they didn't really see you? By chance, would that have been your father? Because if you had something like that where you were loved at a distance like that, but they were loving somebody else, and sometimes these permissions break off for a specific experience, meaning you could have had that in your childhood. Sometimes things have a way of repeating. Actually, everything has a way of repeating, especially if you do everything from your head. I once heard, I think it messed me up, but it messed me up in a really good way in 2007 when I heard, what was it that was said? It was 99.9% of all thinking is repetitive. And I went, and I remember the way it hit me, because it hit me in a way where I went, well, wait a minute. What does that mean? Like, I didn't think it meant anything, but I felt it. You know what I mean? It's like you get those little hints of feeling something. You go, wait a minute. There's something to
Look
this.
at the pretzels, y'all.
Oh my God, those look fantastic. Here, let me hold them.
Hang on.
So those are pretzels.
They're pretzels.
That is
with
gorgeous.
White chocolate and a little bit of red chocolate and some. I had to go buy ashtrays.
Yeah. That's genius. You want to eat a cigarette? Well, I mean,
it is what it is.
So Mara said, "Thank you, Lee and Sherry." Hi, Mara.
Hi.
Let's see. Going back to our earlier conversation,
Mara,
unconditional love is like honest love, but not true love. That's a good way to put it. Tyler said, going back to our earlier conversation, unconditional love is like honest love, but not true love. Which, that makes perfect sense. So Kenza said, yes, my father, I felt, chose alcohol over me. I would get off the bus from school and not know if he would be passed out to not open the door.
Oh.
Wow, yes, that hit. So what you're expecting, now here's the thing, Kenza, if you ask yourself inside, do I believe a man I'm connected to, directly connected to, will choose me if I'm still carrying the wound of my father not choosing me? Those wounds go up against, well, actually, it's like an infliction of a new wound reigniting the same wound. So what you want to do is, first of all, sit down, write out to yourself. If you want to say, hey, I want to write a letter to my dad, and I want to tell him how I felt about his choice and me wanting him to choose me. Make sure that when you write this, you're looking for the part where you have stated to him in his eyes, looking your father in his eyes and said, I wish you would choose me instead of alcohol. And then recite everything he said to you after you said that. If this moment never happened, true love is avoiding you already. I hope that makes sense. You deserve to have true love, but that means the truth needs to come from you. Remember when I was talking about how you have to learn how to receive before you can get the truth? That will be what that means. Because there was a you in there, a little you, Kenza, who wanted her daddy and needed him. And when did she ever get to tell him that? Oh. Now. Not yesterday, not last week, not 2 years ago, not next week. I'm talking right now in this moment. When has she been allowed to say that to him? Because if she hasn't said that to him, what did she say? Because a lot of times we don't realize we can't lift up the person we're connected to. We through family generational curses, we put each other down for repeatedly, and your reiteration of that without seeing it. So it's almost like you have to find your way out of that. And no, it's not easy. But if you'd like to talk, we got you. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Those look fantastic. They really do. I've never seen anything like that, but that's different. So Kenza
people
said,
are strange. They request strange things, and I am here to deliver. I'm here to tell you.
Kenza said, yes, it does. Thank you. I would love to meet you too. If you offer a service like that, if you click, I think you go into the description under this live, I believe down there is a link there where it says contact us, especially if you
busy
run into
putting these ashtrays together. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. Walking this path is beautiful from the standpoint that there is no tomorrow. You the most beautiful part of love is when you don't have to worry about what tomorrow is. That's the most profound part of it.
True.
Like, if I want to get up and go dance with her in the kitchen, I can. When I do that, she dances with me and she looks at me and she smiles and she makes this big, huge smile and it feels so good. But it's like you don't believe you can have something like that because it seems like a pipe dream. But when you're in the dream, it's not a pipe dream. It's kind of what it is. It's not. But it's not easy either, because when we realized what it was we had and then what it was we were supposed to do with what we had, I don't think we realized the importance of it. But now that we've seen what it can do, we know the importance of it. We save each other's lives every day.
Every day. I was getting ready to say every day.
Every day. And it's, And then we get to lay in when we sleep. You guys, it's the best freaking sleep you'll ever have in your life. It's like when you have truth between you, when you sleep good. Everything's good. Everything's better. Food's better. Everything's better. It's just better. I don't know how to explain it. I guess I can explain it from just imagine constant presence. If you've ever had an experience of presence, that's what it's like. So when are you guys making joint ones next, Sherry?
Oh, they're already in the progress. You already know. You must know me.
Yes, we do Zoom, Kenza. So if you click there, there's like a contact us, then there's a calendar. You can just go on there. It's the 30-day link. It should say speak to us. We will definitely be looking for you. And that's anybody else. Anybody else wants to come and talk. We're doing that.
This kitchen. I've trashed it. The kitchen is trashed.
It looks, you know what though?
It's fine. I'm having a blast.
By tonight we'll have this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be all cleaned up. Yeah. And after the hockey game, we do
everything together.
We will be chilling and relaxing on the couch. I look forward to it at night, just relaxing and chilling, just being right next to each other. You know,
hi, Miss Clark.
Hi, Miss Clark.
So we're just sitting out here. Just thought we'd come and hang out with y'all.
I'm cooking. I'm not cooking. I'm making candy.
Well, she's like, I'm making candy. I said, would you like to do live while you're making candy? She says, yeah, that'd be great. Because,
why not talk to the people while I'm making a mess?
Yeah. You guys might add extra ingredients or something to try. You never know. It's good to connect. It's not good not to. If you run towards connection, you'd be surprised what that does for connection. True. Every time. Like clockwork, isn't it? Like clockwork. If you have a wound about your father, you have a wound about your mother, you have a wound about your siblings, you have a wound about your grandparents, you have a wound in any of those spaces within that, birth to 16,
right?
This connection is going to cause you some fun. It's going to test you, but it's going to also show you your belief system, which is not easy to see. Right. It's really not easy to see, especially if you don't know what belief system is.
Oh, right. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Those look so yummy. So those are festive.
These are fall ones.
They look really cute. Here, I'll show them.
These are fall ones. These are heavily infused.
Those are good.
Heavily
they look good.
Infused.
Sitting here grading and hanging out with you both. Oh, she's grading.
Grading papers.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we got a friend who's a kindergarten teacher in an inner city school here in Cincinnati. And ooh, those stories, girl. These kids are.
She's got great stories.
I love it. Oh, for heaven's sake.
But it kind of. Do you remember being in elementary school?
I remember being in kindergarten. I remember my teacher, Mrs. Schul, because I used my gifts on her in kindergarten and I got called into the counseling office. And
what happened?
They called my mom. So I told Mrs. Schul that her husband said that there was a piece of paper in the white book on the bookshelf. Easy enough. Piece of paper, white shelf, easy enough. I was in kindergarten. And I kept hearing it in my dream over and over every time she came near me. And back then, when I was a kindergartner, that was just my little friend talking to me, right? So I told Mrs. Schul because I wanted her to know.
Yeah.
Right? I did. And I had to go to counseling.
You had to what?
I had to go to counseling.
Why? Well, were you right?
I was right. She actually told my mom.
What, she think you broke into her house?
I don't know.
It was in kindergarten.
Yeah, she told my mom that her husband had passed 4 months before.
Okay.
And she wasn't sure whether she was going to come back for the school year or not, but she came back anyway. And there was an extra piece of paper in there that was a whole other insurance policy for her. And anyway, I remember being in the kindergarten. I don't remember first grade. I remember third grade because I remember my teacher, Mrs. Terrell. She was so mean. She was so mean woman. And I could not get my multiplication together up here. It wouldn't click. Sometimes it still doesn't click, right?
Right.
I just didn't get it. I could get division. I just couldn't get the multiplication. It was just driving me nuts. And we would have to go stand in front of her desk and she would say, okay, threes. And we'd have to say the 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times.
Right.
And I just couldn't get it. So I would always get in trouble with her and be having to sit in the corner. And then my 5th grade, I don't remember the 4th grade, but my 5th grade teacher was Miss Naomi Long.
Mm-hmm. You knew her first name.
Naomi Long. The first paddling I ever got in school. The only paddling I ever got in school.
Shoot, I was volunteer.
And that paddle was huge. And she hit me hard.
Really?
Hard. And I got 5 swats. And my butt was bleeding a little bit. Did you cry? Like a baby. And I peed my pants.
Oh, good.
I peed my pants. And I had to call my mom to bring me some pants.
That's traumatic.
Yeah.
Like I said, things that happened to you.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Love that part of you now. That's what you do.
School.
Yeah.
Didn't have fun at school.
I guess Cameron's finally awake.
Oh, really? My son's finally up.
Yeah, he just sent me a message. So
saying what? Why did you call me 1,000 times?
I'll be over in a few hours for mine, said Tyler. Ray of Light, love from the UK. Hello, UK. How are things in the UK?
Hey, Tyler.
Oh my God, I forgot they used to spank in school. Yeah, they used to. Yeah, see, we didn't get what everybody has now.
I'm trying to tell Tyler. I'm telling Tyler a secret. Everybody else don't listen. The food's got pot in it.
So, it'd be worse things for you to be in. So this is perfect because I look at what it's done for your life.
What, pot?
Well, yeah. So she didn't take opioids.
No, I didn't.
Do you guys know that? Do you know that she stayed clear away from opioids because it kills your liver faster? And they kept trying to put them on her when she had liver disease. So that's how marijuana has become a way of life. So the ingredients, the guy that we ended up going to,
number one, it's completely legal in my state.
Yeah, and it's well in Michigan. She ended up becoming a patient for the state of Michigan for the farm up there, and I had to drive. I think it was I remember doing sessions on the road.
Yes, I remember. Yeah,
I would drive 4.5 hours.
I couldn't go, and I love going up to that farm, man.
Bring it back down, and I had to drive to the state of that one state.
The state that's in the middle.
Yeah, the state that's in the middle. But the really cool part was it saved her. There's just no way to describe it. And if you've not done your research, it's the safest way to heal.
Yeah.
So, I'm not against aspirin, but a whole bottle will kill you.
Or a whole
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Whole bottle of pot is not going to kill you.
No, it's just going to make you hungry, happy, and sleepy.
Hungry, happy, and horny.
Well, I forgot about the horny.
Hungry, happy, and horny.
Just went to Michigan last week to re-up. Tyler said, "Yeah, it's a different experience." Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We want to keep.
Welcome to our Sunday.
We're back to being a little bit more consistent on here, and we're happy you guys are still here. I know it takes time, and there's probably a ton more information out there from when we started, but you're missing the key, you can't open the door.
Huh?
I said if you're missing the key, you can't open the door. Can I have some of those?
Before I put pot in?
Please. I just want a few. Pretzels. Okay. I haven't had lunch yet. Anyway, we love you guys. We're just truth, pound truth. Miss Clark, which part are you watching?
What?
Pretzels are amazing.
Pretzels are good.
They just make me thirsty.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to come say bye?
Oh, are we leaving?
Yeah. I mean, we've been on here an hour and 9 minutes.
It doesn't, you know what?
Unless you guys want us to stay for a while.
Because I've been busy. I haven't even paid attention.
Is there anything you guys wanted us to talk about before we go? We could do that. Watch Arcane.
Watch what?
Arcane.
What's that?
I don't know. Let me find out.
Arcane. I'm in. For
I'm looking for it now, Tyler. And that's on Netflix. It's so twin flame coated. Huh.
And it's called what?
Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm always in for a good.
Oh, there it is. Oh, is this anime? League of Legends?
Are you on the right thing?
Is that the right thing? Yes? Okay. Let's see. You are a comfort, just knowing you are there. PM here, so little time to say bye from me. Much love. Thank you, Adele. We miss you. Hope you're doing well. Sherry will like Jinx. They are blue hair sisters.
Oh.
I haven't watched it. Yes, anime. So it's an anime. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Amid the stark discord of twin cities, Piltover and Zon, two sisters fight on rival sides of a war between magic technologies and clashing conditions. Oh. Okay.
All right.
We'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, that movie we watched last night was
good.
It was really all about disconnect.
Yeah.
It's about how you start a relationship disconnected.
It's easy to do.
Yeah. People are out there doing it every day just so they can have somebody in their lives. And
They should trust their feelings.
Yeah, a lot.
Grace made Arcane characters her wallpaper on her phone. I changed mine to Arcane character this morning, Miss Clark. Oh, look at you. Connection in a room. That always happens.
I love that.
Ooh, the yellow looks good. That's different.
Yellow.
Yellow?
Yellow.
What's the yellow going to be on?
Huh?
Let's give you an update. Let's see if you guys can see.